here is something I have for you. If you understand this, public speaking will become really easy, and you'll know how that 2% of people think and they influence you because you'll have this tool at your disposal. So, first thing first, we have two sides of the brain. We have left side and right side of the brain. So left side is analytical brain. Sorry, this is left. Yeah, left side is analytical side of the brain. This is responsible for data, research, facts, stats, analytics, etc. Right side of the brain is your creative brain. This is where your gut feel, hunches, passion, vivid, clarity, all these things come from. You are dominant either by left brain or right brain. So let's say you are a software engineer. Most of the software engineers, their thought pattern is that I can have 50 browsers open in my head and I can process information really, really fast, but they are not good at telling stories. So when they communicate, they believe that's how the world thinks. And on other hand, people who are creative, they wonder like how? Like this doesn't make any sense. That was so fast. I want to be taken on a journey, just like a Harry Potter movie. And these people think that, man, it's just waste of time to give you so much of context when it is like two steps, right? And the problem is people think the way they think, that's how the world thinks. But if you want to be effective communicator, you have to touch both sides of the brain. That means you have to tell people the logic, which is your left brain. You also have to tell them story. So that way you cover every single person and they understand your message and it has a deeper impact. Let's understand from different directions. So you have conscious brain and you have subconscious brain. So let's say this is your conscious brain, the front part of the brain, right? Your brain makes 40,000 decisions in a day for you. 2,000 decisions come from your conscious brain. And the language of conscious brain is questions. It always thinks in questions like what and how. But 38,000 decisions in a day come from your subconscious brain. And this brain stores information in stories. So that is why the information that go to subconscious level stay there forever. For example, the childhood stories, the belief that you form, maybe your grandma told you something, you still remember it because she told it in form of story, and that is why it is stored for a long, long time. So what it means is, if you want to influence people, then give them the logic as well as give them the story. I'm trying to put this together, but you get an idea. And that is third element. That's where most people operate from, which is fear. Whoops. And that is usually the little voice that you have in your head. That's called your reptilian brain. Most people's brain is hijacked with this little thing, which is fear. So when you are communicating to people, make sure you cover three things. You explain them the logic, you tell them the story, and then you also focus on this reptilian brain. If you put this together, you'll tickle every part of the brain and you'll press all the buttons in their brain and they'll be able to make decision if they are analytical, they're creative people, or they're just driven by fear. That's the secret. So let's understand this with an example. So let's say I want to give you information that why you should not take food, especially chocolate, from strangers. So if I just give you random information, hey, you should not accept chocolate from random strangers, it could be dangerous. Most likely you'll forget this information in 1 or 2 days. But now, what if I involve all three parts of the brain? So listen, I read an article in downtown. There is a gang that is operating. And what these guys are doing is something which is absolutely bizarre. They open pop-up kiosk and they give free chocolate sample and they say, we're starting a new business. Can you give us some review? Tell us how this chocolate is. Some of them had blades in it and they were rushed to the hospital and this probably was their last chocolate. Now, how likely are you to accept chocolate in downtown city after listening to this information? Probably not. First, you get the message, don't take the chocolate from random strangers. Second, there was a story. And third thing, there was fear involved. And that's it. If you can tickle three parts of the brain, that message is going to stick than just the piece of information.